Welcome to Sydney here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nicky Tay.
And today we're reviewing a Netflix original movie, All Day and a Night.
Directed by Joe Robert Cole, starring Ashton Sanders. The film focuses on a young African-American man who ends up serving life in prison and goes back through his life to focus on the major decisions that landed him in that position. The film is solid. The director himself was a co-writer for Black Panther, so I was interested in that. And Ashton Sanders, who I think is an up-and-coming African-American actor who's been in movies like Captive State, which we also reviewed, and Moonlight, Grammy Award or Oscar Award winning. I think is really good. I think he's a guy who could be molded into potentially a great. And so getting to see this film, I thought was gonna add, another great movie to his resume. Now the movie isn't great, unfortunately, but it is really good. I think in a time where we don't get a lot of solid Black movies that talk about, the struggle. This film kind of outlines the struggle, even though some of the situations may be, I think, a little bit exaggerated. It still gives you a little bit of the day in the life.
I have not got my fix as of lately for what I would call a hood tale, right? I have not got that in a while. I can't even really think off the top of my head the last, what I would say is like kind of hood / gangster movie. I can't really think of the last one I got in the 2000s specifically. I will have to sit and really think. But this movie kind of gave me that 90s hood movie feel to it. Is it as good as some of those movies in the past? No.
Like what? Give me an example.
Example of what?
Like a 90s hood tale.
Like
for the people at home.
Something like a Menace to Society, right? What would be a classic. Or Boys in the Hood. Like, there's a lot of those in that realm. I guess Friday would be on the funnier end of that scale, but kind of still saw that the roots of the hood. This movie falls somewhere in between. But Ashton did a really good job of playing the character in the movie. I really believed he was going through what he was going through in the film. He is a really good actor. I kind of want to pause on the review and just say to Ashton, maybe he shouldn't kind of follow himself doing the same roles. I think his last 3 roles are all kind of the same character. He needs to show me that he can do more.
Yeah, the troubled youth.
Yeah, the troubled youth. I'm only here because of my circumstances. He got that feel and vibe to him on the screen, which is great for a film like this. But back to the film itself, it does give me that feel. Like I said, it's not as good as the original any of those 90s movies, but for the 2000s, it filled that void in any way.
Not even the 2000s. We in the 2020s.
Yeah. In the last 20 years, how about that? This movie kind of filled that void. I think the biggest, strongest point of this movie is the acting and also the story. I really did enjoy the story. I'm not with Nicky Tay as far as it being so
a few scenes,
dramatized.
A few scenes. Don't misquote. A few scenes I felt like were a little over the top. I'm like,
That's movies though, right?
I know.
Okay.
I'm not saying they did anything that was different. It was just like, okay, like this. I'm supposed to believe this is the hood in every instance. Okay. And a lot of decisions, a lot of scenes. I'm like,
a lot. Because you said once again,
I may not say a lot. A few scenes, a few decisions, kind of took me out of like, I don't know about that. I don't picture that one.
And those were probably the biggest, strongest points of the movies. And like I said, for somebody that liked those styles of movies, it did something for me. I think that it's also important to really have a message in movies like this. I think the parallels of the father and the son in this movie was great because it just shows the continued cycle of the abusing the next, right? And it's just like the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. It just shows that even if you are never trained or taught by your parents, sometimes you can just live off their examples. And if they set these bad examples, then it can trickle down. And in this movie, they showed those parallels, and I can appreciate them trying to have a deeper story in this movie because a lot of these movies don't always have that deeper story. Sometimes it is, this is just how the hood is, and that's the end of it. But in this movie, they actually gave you another parallel of this is not how it always has to be.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated the message in the film and was happy that a movie with this kind of message made it to the top 10 on Netflix.
Yep.
Hopefully a lot of African Americans get to see this. especially the ones that are living kind of towards this circumstance or in this environment, if you will, and they can internalize and reflect maybe some of their own decisions before they end up in the same circumstance as the main character. A negative to this film, though, is I felt in a lot of parts it dragged a bit. It felt a bit slow. The tone, the pacing, I wish was a little bit faster, with a lot more excitement. Something like A Menace to Society, where I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? I didn't really get there with that film, or with this film. It was more of, I'm curious what's going to happen next, but I'm not excited, which is kind of a letdown, but nevertheless, it's a good enough film to watch.
For me, like I said, this movie filled a little void. It's not. I do want to stress it. It's not like the '90s movies. Let me push that one more time. I don't want people to think that I'm doing that. This is completely different, but it's in that same lane, and I can appreciate that. In the end, I will have to give this film a 7.7. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the acting, and I think that this is a film that is worth checking out on Netflix.
In conclusion, All Day and a Night is a really good movie with a message I think should be heard by many. For me, this film is a 7.5 because of the negatives of a slightly slow pacing and a few exaggerated scenes. But overall, still a solid movie, and like I said, something that people should see. That completes the review for All Day and a Night. Let us know how you feel about the film. I know a lot of people are seeing this because it was top 10 on Netflix. And it was a black movie, so I feel like a lot of black people always come out and support the black films, especially when they are on streaming sites and they're already stealing them from other people. It's like, why not, right? It was like, why not? Why not watch it? I ain't paying for it. Please like, comment, let us know how you feel. Subscribe to the channel if you like all that we are doing. Hit the notification bell. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.